In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome inside Royal Brome Pavilion in Seattle, Washington. I'm Greg Sexton. You're watching SPU Volleyball, and we have a great opponent coming in tonight, the Central Washington University Wildcats. They are tied for first in the GNAC at 8-1, 10-5 overall. The Falcons come in really having struggled for much of this year, but they've won 3 out of their last 4. They're now 4-5 in GNAC play, 4-13 overall. This is the beginning of the second half of the GNAC schedule, and the Falcons lost in 4 sets in Ellensburg the first time these two teams met back on September 28th. The Wildcats have really they've only lost 5 sets in their first 9 GNAC matches. 3 of those sets were to Simon Fraser, though. Simon Fraser swept them, and other than that, Seattle Pacific got a set from them, and Alaska Anchorage did as well. And they swept everybody else, the other 6 matches on their the first half of their schedule. So Central Washington having a great year, as per usual. Mario Andaya in his 29th year as the head coach of the Wildcats. Jason Ryan in his 3rd year coaching the Falcons. Falcons did win the GNAC last year, and they have had a steep drop this year compared to where they were at last year, as trying to get things rolling here, and they have been. They have won 3 out of the last 4, as I mentioned. So really kind of getting things going, but most likely not going to sniff the NCAA tournament this year. Central Washington, on the other hand, has appeared in 11 straight. They have not won the GNAC since 2005, but they consistently finish 2nd or 3rd in the GNAC, and they consistently go to the tournament. And they're looking to make their 12th straight trip, and they're looking to win their first GNAC title, as I mentioned, since 2005. So Mario Andaya, in his 29th year, as I mentioned, he's been doing this more than half of his life, as he just settled in as the head coach at Central Washington at a very young age. His daughter, Tia Andaya, was kind of one of their leaders last year. She actually signed a professional contract to play in Bulgaria. But he has got a lot of other really good players on his roster. 4 first-team All-GNAC players last year, including his daughter Tia, and then the other 3 are still on the roster. Scotty Ellsworth, Hannah Stiers, and Emma Dowd-Abear. Emma Dowd-Abear and Hannah Hare, who's going to start on the bench, as she usually does, and she'll check in right away. But they are 2 of the elite middle blockers in all of college volleyball at the Division II level. We're getting underway here as Shaughnessy Fisk puts it in play for the Wildcats, and the Falcons return it. Aaron Smith sends it over for the kill, and the Falcons on the board. And as I mentioned, Hannah Hare will check in up front, and Allison Wilkes will go back and serve for SPU. And Wilkes not a bad middle blocker herself either. She's averaging a block per set. There's a block by Hare. And now sent over, and that is Halliday for the Wildcats, dumping it over the net. And we're tied at 1. Morgan Halliday doing some things for the Wildcats this year as well. She's a senior out of Indianola, Washington on the Olympic Peninsula. Here is Eva La Rochelle sending one over for the Falcons. And a block by Hare, and it goes out of bounds. It is the Wildcats' point. And so it'll be Hannah Stiers, the libero, to serve it up, with the Wildcats leading 2-1. Let me not forget to, I wasn't going to forget, but I need to mention Emily Tolino, the GNAC Offensive Player of the Week, as the Wildcats take a 3-1 lead. Emily Tolino set career highs in both assists and blocks on Thursday, and then set new career highs in both assists and blocks on Saturday. And she had, she's not a blocker, she's a setter. She had 4 blocks on Thursday night against Western Oregon, and then had 6 against St. Martin's on Saturday. Here is Ellsworth, and that one is going to be off the hands of Aaron Smith into the stands. And the Wildcats lead it 4-2 as Kaylee Shea Chang will serve. She's a freshman from Kirkland, Washington, just across the lake. Was born in Hawaii. And Chang will serve it up. Here is Aaron Smith, and she comes up short of the net, trying to return it. And the Wildcats take a 5-2 lead. Tolino set career highs in both assists and blocks on Thursday. Did it again in both assists and blocks. This one off the hands of La Rochelle out of bounds on Saturday. And she picks up a GNAC Offensive Player of the Week. And she's a senior, so it's not like she has a small sample size of career matches. She's played a ton of matches in her career, but set career highs in 2 categories in consecutive matches, is this one is sent over by Hare. Stiers dives for it and can't come up with it. And Jason Ryan is going to deploy Sophia Chambers here, but he's not going to put her in to serve. He's going to send La Rochelle to serve. He does check in Chambers with Tolino on the floor, so Chambers out there, possibly not as the setter, as the Wildcats come up with another point there. 7-3 is your score as Carissa Stratman checks in. Stratman, a redshirt freshman out of Bozeman, Montana. 7-3 Wildcats. And this is Mariana Payne serving. Tolino with the set for La Rochelle. And Stiers is there for the dig. Sent back over by Stratman. And now here's Sydney Perry for the Falcons. Chang sets it up. And sent over by Corinne Westby. And the Falcons unable to block it. So Westby with the kill. And the Wildcats with an 8-3 lead here in the first set. Falcons trying to not let this one get too far away from them. As Payne will serve it again. And that one is going to be an ace. La Rochelle and Christina Lopez not on the same page there. They let it go right between them. And it is 9-3. So Jason Ryan going to have to help his team get on the same page. Here is Hannah Hare, and she sends it over. It's blocked out of bounds, and that'll be a kill for the fifth-year middle blocker out of Walla Walla, Washington. As she checks out, and Allison Wilkes checks back in up front. Christina Lopez will serve with the Falcons down 9-4 here in the first set. This is going to be Westby sending it over. And Tolino with the fake set, and she dumps it over the net for the kill. And that'll make it 9-5. Emily Tolino, a senior out of Carlsbad, California. Erin Smith, also, she's not on the floor at the moment, but she's also out of Carlsbad, California. They did not go to the same high school, but Smith, a fifth-year player, and the Falcons have a few of those as Wilkes sends this one over and gets it over for the kill. And the Falcons are within 3 at 9-6. They've scored the last 3. Lopez will serve it again. Mark Muschetti did a good interview with Christina Lopez on the SPU Volleyball website this week. As here is Sydney Perry sending it over. And they mentioned that Lopez does like to serve, which she does well. That one hits the side of the net. And the Falcons have scored 4 in a row to get right back in this first set. They were down 6 early and now down just 2. So Jason Ryan's got to like the turn of the momentum here for his team. But there is Emma Dowd-Hebert putting it over the net for a point for the Wildcats. As she comes up with a kill, and now she goes back to serve. Dowd-Hebert, a fifth-year player out of Woodinville, Washington. Not far from Seattle. This one sent over, and it lands in, and it's a kill for Carissa Stratman. And it's 11-7. Wildcats up by 4. Dowd-Hebert will serve again. Lopez there for the dig. And here's Wilkes spiking it over, but the Wildcats keep it alive. And Tolino lands it in bounds. Lopez just got a hand on it, and Tolino redirected it and just kept it in. And the Falcons come up with a point there. Emily Tolino will head back to serve as Erin Smith checks back in for Sophia Chambers. Sophia Chambers, a sophomore out of Justin, Texas, and Jason Ryan looking for opportunities to get her in, as Tolino has played extremely well as the setter, and as I mentioned, she's a senior, so she's getting most of the majority of the opportunity as a setter, and has the Falcons back within 2 now at 11-9. Tolino will serve it again. Stiers with the dig. And that is Westby. And Tolino with the one hand keeps it alive. Here's Wilkes. It's tapped back over. And now Perry sends it over for the Falcons. And gets SPU back within a point at 11-10. So the Falcons struggling a little bit early in this one, but they seem to have found their rhythm, and they are back within a point, trying to tie up the first set here. Stiers the dig. Chang sends it toward the net, and it's volleyed over by Stratman. Aaron Smith sends it back, and it's blown dead, and the point awarded to SPU. Not sure if they got a double touch on that. They blew it dead, and either way, Falcons with the point. We're tied at 11, as the Falcons have put together another 4-0 run. Stiers with the dig. Chang sets it up for Halliday. She puts it over, and the Falcons keep it alive. Lopez volleys it back over, and here is Westby. Perry sends it over for the kill, and the Falcons are in front. 12-11. SPU scored the last 5. And they have scored 9 out of the last 11 points in this match, in this first set here. As they take a 12-11 lead, and Emily Salino still on serve. Salino had 5 service aces on Saturday, by the way, as well, against St. Martin's. As this one sent out of bounds. Another point for the Falcons, and Mario Andaya is going to take a timeout. SPU has scored the last 6, and they lead at 13-11. We'll step aside on the SPU webcast. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. This has really been a very even series between these two teams, as Tolino will come back out and serve again for the Falcons. SPU leads the all-time series 44-43. Central Washington leads in sets 165-163. They've won 2 more sets than the Falcons have all-time. And that's going back a number of years. Here's Aaron Smith, and she sends it out. And the Wildcats will take it back as they break the SPU scoring run there on an attack error by Smith. And Dia is going to check in Scotty Ellsworth and Kate Stidham. And Stidham will serve for the Falcons. For the Wildcats, rather. Tolino will set it up for Wilkes, and it's blocked. And now here's Aaron Smith, and she gets it through, but the Wildcats keep it alive. Ellsworth sends it over with the left hand and ties it back up at 13. Scotty Ellsworth, a redshirt junior out of Kent, Washington. And Dia's got a few players from Western Washington, a few players from Eastern Washington, and some other areas as well. Sydney Perry sends it over. And this one sent over by Stratman, and she lands it in. Stratman, I mentioned, out of Bozeman, Montana, and a couple of California natives as well. Really a lot of Washington natives. Stidham from Central Point, Oregon, as she is the one serving. Here's Wilkes. And Stidham goes back to get it and keep it in play. Here is Tolino setting it up for Wilkes. And that one was set up on a platter for Allison Wilkes, as Tolino didn't have to pass it very far there. Here is Zoe Schuckert to serve for SPU. She's out of nearby University Place, Washington, went to Curtis High School. A lot of fifth-year players on both of these squads here. Here's Eva La Rochelle sending it over. And now Ellsworth's going to tap it, but it's blocked. Ellsworth gets another crack at it and lands it inbounds. Ellsworth with the kill. And the Wildcats retake the lead 15-14 as Shaughnessy Fisk will come in and serve. She's out of Ellensburg, which is, of course, where Central Washington is located. So Fisk didn't have to travel very far to go to school. Here's Aaron Smith, and the dig there by Stiers can't come up with it cleanly, and Aaron Smith with the kill for the Falcons. Lopez to the bench, Wilkes to serve. 15-15 your score. This has turned into a good first set after the Wildcats initially got out to a 6-point lead. This is sent just over the end line, though, by Wilkes. And now she'll check back out. Lopez back in. Hannah Stiers will serve for the Wildcats as they lead by a point. Tolino sets it up for La Rochelle. She's blocked, as that was Dowd, Hebert, and Ellsworth at the net. Teaming up on that block. And the Wildcats with a 2-point lead, 17-15. Stiers sends it over. Lopez lets it go, and it lands inbounds for an ace for Hannah Stiers. It was close to the sideline there, but it landed in. And the Wildcats now with a 3-point lead at 18-15. This time Lopez lets it go, and it lands in again. And Jason Ryan wants a timeout. A little bit of tentative play out of his sophomore libero, letting the last two go, and they both landed in. 19-15, Wildcats lead the first set. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back to Seattle. Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Wildcats now with a 4-point lead late in the first set, 19-15. And Hannah Stiers, the fifth-year player out of 9 Mile Falls, Washington. As Aaron Smith sends it back for the Falcons and comes up with the kill. And it's 19-16. Falcons within 3, trying to make another little mini run here. Steyer's the dig. And there is Mariana Payne, and she puts it over for the kill. And the Wildcats back up by 4. As Kaylee Shea Chang will check in up front. I'm sorry, Kaylee Shea Chang will check in to serve. Corinne Westby checking in up front. She's from Liberty Lake, Washington, which is not far from 9 Mile Falls, over in the Spokane area. And another point here for the Wildcats. They go up by 5 now, 21-16. Closing in on this first set. Falcons are going to have to string several points together here to get back in this one. Here's Aaron Smith. That one off the ceiling, and it lands on the SPU side. And that's going to be, actually, that's going to be SPU's point. And so the Falcons get the point there, and Eva La Rochelle will serve. And Mario Andaya trying to get an explanation here on, well, he's okay. But, yeah, that one was a little unclear. Just it caromed off the ceiling pretty hard. And it looked like it landed on SPU's side of the court. But they gave the point to SPU, but they give this one to the Wildcats. And it is now 22-17. As Payne will put it in play, and that one gets a little piece of the net on the way over. Perry can't do anything with it. It's an ace for Mariana Payne, fifth-year player out of Camas, Washington. And the Wildcats now with a 6-point lead. They had a 6-point lead early in the first set. Falcons actually came back as this one hits the top of the net and stays on the Central Washington side. And so Christina Lopez will take it back. Well, the Falcons had a couple of runs, one with Lopez serving and one with Toledo serving. And they need another one here. Here's Chang setting it up for Dowd Hebert, and the Falcons unable to return it. And the Wildcats will have a set point at 24-18. Emma Dowd Hebert will serve for the first set as Morgan Halliday checks back in up front for Central. And Dowd Hebert sends it over. La Rochelle to her knees for the dig. Here's Perry sending it over. And there's Payne, and now Perry dumps it back over, and that's going to be a kill for Sydney Perry. And the Falcons back within 5 at 24-19. Now Emily Tolino will serve as Aaron Smith back in. Sophia Chambers was out there. She's going back to the bench now. And Emily Tolino will put it in play for SPU. Steyer's the dig. Here's Chang setting it up. And it's blocked. Or did it even clear the net? As it was Stratman trying to put it over. And it was either blocked or it didn't clear the net at all. It's hard to tell from up here. Do not have the best vantage point from where I'm situated. There's Stratman. That time, that one definitely didn't get over as Stratman sends it into the net. And the Falcons back within 3 now, 24-21, making things interesting here in the first set. Each coach still has a timeout left if they feel like they need to use them. Tolino sends it over. Chang will set it up for Westby. And the Falcons will keep it in play. Aaron Smith sends it over and lands it in. And it's 24. No, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. The signal from the official, he pointed the other way. Central Washington takes the point as Smith was not able to get that one over as Central Washington wins the first set by a count of 25-21. And they go up 1-0. We will be back here on the SPU webcast shortly. Set number 2 coming up shortly after this break. Back inside Royal Brome as we go to the second set here. The Wildcats win the first one 25-21. One of the big discrepancies statistically in that first set was 6 aces for the Wildcats to 0 for the Falcons. And Christina Lopez actually charged with 4 of those reception errors in that first set. Jason Ryan giving her some encouragement, telling her that the sideline's right here as having a good time with her. But that really accounted for much of the difference in that first set as the Wildcats won it by 4, 25-21. And it'll be the Falcons going to work to start the second set with Zoe Schuckert serving. Aaron Smith had 7 kills in that first set. But as I mentioned, 6 service aces, 2 each from Chang, Stiers, and Payne in that first set. Here is Ellsworth spiking it over, and Schuckert can't come up with it. And it's 1-0 Wildcats to start the second set, as Hannah Stiers will serve it for Central Washington. Tolino sets it up for Wilkes, and Stiers able to get to it and keep it alive and get it back over now. Here's Smith off the hands of Shaughnessy Fisk. This one sent back over by the Wildcats. Here's La Rochelle sending it back for the Wildcats, or for the Falcons rather. This one is going to go out, and that time the Falcons let it go, and it does land out. And it's 1-1. Allison Wilkes will serve it. Wilkes from Bothell, Washington. Mentioned Kaylee Shea Chang for the Wildcats out of Kirkland. And Bothell just up the road from Kirkland on the east side. As This one, they award it to Central, but Allison Wilkes heading back. Jason Ryan trying to get an explanation here. And now Wilkes will check out as the official able to give Ryan an explanation. He didn't challenge the call. He didn't like it, but he didn't challenge it. Here is Kaylee Shea Chang serving for the Wildcats, and La Rochelle will send it back over. This one sent over by Westby, and it's going to land for a kill as the Falcons unable to return it. And it is 3-1. We get a couple of guys with guitars sitting in the stands now. This could be interesting if they decide to break those out. That one, Payne gets it, tried to get it around the antenna there, but it was blocked, and the Falcons back within a point at 3-2. So SPU with Aaron Smith serving now, trying to even the second set up at 3. Payne sends it over. Tolino sets it up for Hare, and she sends it out of bounds. And they got a deflection on that, as looked like Hare just sent it out of bounds, but it was deflected on the way out, so it's SPU's point. And it's 3-3. Smith will serve it again this time. That one's well out of bounds. And the Wildcats retake the lead at 4-3. Stratman in up front for Fisk. (4-3) Central as Mariana Payne will put it in play. And that one lands in. And Lopez let that one go. And still just a little bit of tentativeness in this match so far from Christina Lopez. As she comes up with a clean dig there. Here's La Rochelle sending it over. Tolino gets it back to La Rochelle. And this one is going to land on the Central Washington side. And Tolino with the cross-court set there going down as she put it over to Eva La Rochelle. And it is 5-4, Wildcats with the lead. Falcons serving, and this is La Rochelle. This one's set up for Westby, and Chambers is there for the dig. And now La Rochelle will send it back over. And La Rochelle trying to come up with a dig there on Stratman, but it goes back out of bounds off the hands of La Rochelle, and it's 6-4. Wildcats by 2. Emma Dowd-Abear will serve. And Lopez there. Here's Hannah Hare getting it around the antenna and landing it on the Central Washington side. It's 6-5. And Lopez will serve it for SPU. Puts it over, and Payne with the dig, and there is a kill from Morgan Halliday as she lands it inside the sideline, and it's 7-5 as Kate Stidham will come on and serve for Central Washington. Wildcats up a set. And as I mentioned, as Sydney Perry puts it over and lands it in, good kill there from Perry. Another fifth-year player out of Cave Creek, Arizona. Lopez out of Surprise, Arizona, the 2 Arizona natives on the Falcons roster. Here is Emily Tolino serving. as I mentioned earlier, as there's Ellsworth, and it's off the hands of La Rochelle. 2-point lead for the Wildcats. Wildcats have only lost 5 sets in their first 9 GNAC matches. One of those was to these Falcons. One was to the Alaska Anchorage Seawolves, as Shaughnessy Fisk will serve. And then 3 of them were to Simon Fraser, who will be in this building a little later on. Falcons lost in 4 sets to Central Washington. They lost in 4 sets to Simon Fraser. They've really not gotten swept a ton this year, but they've lost a lot of matches. The Falcons have been swept a total of 3 times in 13 matches that they've lost. Here's Sydney Perry, and she sends it over and lands it in. And that gets the Falcons back to within 3 at 9-7. Falcons have lost some 4-setters. And not a lot of 5-setters. When they, let's see here, they lost 2 5-setters, and they have won 2 5-setters. So 2-2 in 5-set matches. This one sent over by Halliday, and the Falcons able to return it. That one's blocked. Falcons keep it alive. Tolino will volley it over. And now Ellsworth sends it over with the left hand, and the Falcons keep it alive again. Here's Smith, and Aaron Smith is going to end up with a kill as that one lands in the stands. Stands starting to fill up a little bit, as score now 9-9. Falcons have tied it up. Several of the men's basketball players in attendance in this one, as Mariana Payne puts it over for the kill, and the Wildcats go back up by a point. Harry Cavill has been out of school for a while, and he's still hanging out with the men's basketball team. Former men's basketball player. La Rochelle sends it over, and the Wildcats can't return it. It's 10-10. Allison Wilkes will serve. Wilkes sends it over. There's Stiers, and it comes back to the net, and La Rochelle is there. I don't know that it actually cleared the net, but La Rochelle was there to make sure it didn't, as the Falcons take the lead 11-10. And here's Wilkes serving again. Payne sends it cross court and lands it out of bounds, and the Falcons lead it by 2. 12-10. Payne trying to send it to the opposite side, and sent it just a little too far. 12-10. Falcons with the lead. Wilkes sends it over. Stiers able to dig it cleanly, and now Ellsworth lands it out of bounds. And the Falcons lead it by 3. And Mario Andaya takes a timeout, as his team has made some errors here the last few points. Falcons have a 3-point lead now, 13-10. We'll be back in just a moment on the SPU webcast.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Falcons on a 4-0 run and a 7-1 run here. And they lead it by 3, 13-10. As they try to even the match up at a set apiece. Allison Wilkes still on serve. And this is Payne returning it, and it's deflected. And Mariana Payne with the kill. So the Wildcats with the side out. Chang will serve, and Westby will check back in up front as well for Central. Chang serves, Lopez digs. Here's Aaron Smith, and she's blocked. Tolino will set it up for Hare. And Hare gets the kill as the Wildcats can't return it. And the Falcons go back up by 3, 14-11. Aaron Smith will serve it. Mentioned the men's basketball program, of several of them in attendance. Trace Evans is on the men's basketball team, but he is a volunteer for volleyball, as he's on the baseline there, making sure that the server is equipped with a volleyball. As this is Mariana Payne serving, and that one's going to go over the end line, out of bounds. Chambers and Perry will check back in for SPU. And they lead it by 3 again, 15-12. And it'll be Eva La Rochelle to serve. And she puts it into the net. And so Central takes it back, 15-13. Dowd Hebert will serve for the Wildcats. Perry with the dig, and now Perry going to get a crack at it. It's off the antenna, and it's going to be SPU's point, as that one was on the other side of the net. And Falcons take the point. 16-13. Now Christina Lopez serving. Stiers backs up and makes the dig, and now Halliday sends it back over. Here's Wilkes with the two-handed volley over the head. And now Westby sends it over, and La Rochelle can't reach it. And it's 16-14. As it'll be Kate Stidham checking in to serve for Central. 16-14. Tolino will set it up for Wilkes, and she'll tap it toward the corner and land it in. Allison Wilkes, one of the most accurate hitters in the GNAC. She hit over 700 on Saturday against St. Martin's. This is, didn't mention this, this is the third out of a 4-match homestand here for the Falcons, which is kind of rare. They don't tend to play more than 2 or 3, either at home or on the road in the GNAC schedule, as Sydney Perry comes up short on that one. But this year they started with 3 on the road. And this is as I mentioned, a 4-match homestand. It's just the way the schedule fell this year. They get 4 in a row at home. There's Aaron Smith sending it over. And that one not returned by the Wildcats. The Falcons, again, with a 3-point lead, 18-15. Zoe Schuckert will serve it. Stiers has it go off her hands, out of bounds. It's an ace for Schuckert. And it's 19-15. Stiers looked like she was thinking about having second thoughts there about whether or not to return that one. That time it lands in front of her. Schuckert back-to-back aces. And the Falcons in front by 5 here in the second set, as they try to even this match at a set apiece. Zoe Schuckert to put it in play again. This one crawls over the net, and the Wildcats able to handle it. But Scotty Ellsworth sends it out of bounds, and the Falcons go up by 6. It's 21-15. Wildcats pulled away toward the end of the first set, and now the Falcons try to do the same thing as Mario Andaya calls a timeout. He was saying something to the official there, but he'll take a timeout. That'll be second timeout of the second set for Central. And we'll be back in just a moment on the SPU webcast.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Teams return to the floor here following the timeout, 21-15. Falcons with the lead here in set number 2. As they have gone on some runs here in the second set. Shaughnessy Fisk out on the floor for the Wildcats, and Carissa Stratman to the bench. And Schuckert still serving for the Falcons, as Stidham will set it up for Ellsworth, and it's blocked. Here's Payne, and saved by Tolino, and the Falcons are going to get it back over. Stidham sets it up for Payne again. This time it's going to be a kill for Mariana Payne, and the Wildcats back within 5, 21-16. And Madowd Abair will check in up front, and Hannah Stiers will serve. Stiers sends it over. Here's Tolino setting it up behind her for Aaron Smith, and the Wildcats able to keep it alive as Payne taps it over. And now here is La Rochelle, and that's going to be a kill for the freshman out of Monument, Colorado, as La Rochelle able to put it over the front line there and off a couple of pairs of hands. 22-16, Falcons with the lead. Wilkes to serve. Here's Payne, and it's blocked, but it's out of bounds, as Smith and Hare went up for it and couldn't land it in bounds. So the Wildcats with the point, and Kaylee Shea Chang to serve. (22-17). Falcons lead it by 5. And the Wildcats trying to stay alive here in the second set. Tolino volleys it back over. Dowd Bear is blocked by Hare. No, I'm sorry. I thought that Hare got it back over. But no, they do give the point to the Wildcats, as Hare came up short on that one, apparently. Again, my vantage point, not the best in the building. Here is Payne dumping it over, and Falcons unable to block it. And the Wildcats back within 3. Jason Ryan thinking about taking a timeout. And he will. And we will step aside as well on the SPU webcast. Second set, tightening back up a little bit here as it's 22-19. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. Wildcats have scored the last 3 to get back within 3 here in the second set. And it's Kaylee Shea Chang serving. 22-19, the second set not yet over for the Falcons. And Lopez has that one go off her hands over the bench, the Falcons bench there, and an ace for Kaylee Shea Chang. And it's a 2-point margin here. Wildcats on a 4-0 run. Chang puts it in play again. This one hits the net. And the Falcons will get the side out. And they get a 3-point lead back. 23-20. And Aaron Smith will serve. Falcons 2 points away from evening this match at a set apiece, as there is Payne spiking it over, and she lands it in bounds. Not much the Falcons could do about that one, as Carissa Stratman will check back in for Shaughnessy Fisk, and it'll be Mariana Payne to serve. With the score at now 23-21, Falcons up by just 2. Here is Tolino setting it up for Hare, and she gets it over. Hannah Hare with the kill, and the Falcons are going to have a set point at 24-21. Sophia Chambers and Sydney Perry will both check in up front, and Eva La Rochelle will serve for SPU. As the Falcons with La Rochelle serving and Hare with the block. Wildcats keep it alive, and that one is going to land in on the SPU side. And it's a 2-point margin here, 24-22. Halliday checking back in for Stiers up front. And it'll be Dowd Abear to serve. She needs at least the next 2 to keep this match going. Here's Perry sending it over. Tolino for Perry, and I said match, but I meant set. This one's sent over by Stratman, and she lands it in. And it is 24-23. This one getting tight. Jason Ryan takes another timeout. Falcons lead it by 1. And Central serving to try to get it to 24 apiece. We'll be right back in just a moment on the SPU webcast. back inside Royal Brougham, 24-23. Falcons with the lead, and Central trying to tie it back up. Dowd Abear sends it over, and there's Lopez with the dig. Here's Hannah Hare spiking it over, and the Falcons take the second set by a count of 25-23. Hannah Hare, the big kill at the end, and the Falcons take set number 2 to tie up the match at 1 set apiece. We will step aside here on the SBU webcast. We're at intermission. We'll be back with set number 3 in a few minutes. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. We're tied up at a set apiece as the Falcons outlast the Wildcats in the second set, 25-23, after dropping the first one, 25-21. And Shaughnessy Fisk will start off the third set serving. The Wildcats, I mentioned, had 6 aces in the first set. They had 2 more in the second set, but the Falcons had 4 of them. As Christina Lopez having a tough time tonight. She's been solid as the libero. Took over as the libero a few matches into her freshman year last year. And tonight, though, 4 digs and 6 reception errors charged to her through the first 2 sets. Hannah Stiers on the other side, the libero for the Wildcats, has 3 reception errors. And that's typical for the libero to give up a few aces. As Lopez will keep at it. They are going to blow that one dead. They give the point to the Falcons. And I think they said that the Wildcats were over the net. I believe was the signal from the official there. And so the Falcons get the first point of the third set. And Wilkes will send it over, and it just crawls over the net and lands in for an ace. Nothing you can do about that if you're the Wildcats, as that one, the momentum totally changed, the trajectory totally changed on that. Once it hit the net, here's Wilkes, this time well over the net. Payne sends it back. Tolino sets it up for Smith, and Aaron Smith. This one is going to come back over, and La Rochelle gets to it. Smith, another spike over. Payne sends it back. She's blocked. And now here is Ellsworth. Smith is there. Here's La Rochelle. She's blocked. She taps it back over. Payne is blocked by Aaron Smith. And the Falcons get the point. And they go up 3-0. Hannah Hare was in the vicinity too, but they may give Aaron Smith a solo block on that one. We'll see. Hare was close enough that it's probably going to be an assisted block between Smith and Hare. As Payne sends that one over. La Rochelle sends it long. She thinks that they deflected it, but they didn't. The officials don't see it that way. And so it is 3-1. Wildcats take the point. And here's Hannah Stiers. Lopez the dig. Here's Tolino for Hare. And now sending it back over is Dowd Hebert. La Rochelle blocked. And it lands in bounds. And the Wildcats back within a point at 3-2. Stiers will serve again. Falcons are without Abigail Cunningham tonight. And Wildcats missing a couple players too. They're missing Ellie Marble. So this one is off the hands of Stiers, out of bounds. And they're also missing Lacey Cox, who has played a lot for them this year. So both teams with some regulars missing in action tonight. This one sent over by Payne, and that's a kill for Mariana Payne. It's 4-3. Payne with her 10th kill of the match. As she's also got 7 digs. 3 aces as well. Lopez, and there's Tolino saving it. It's back over, but they blow it dead. They give the point to the Wildcats. Jason Ryan saying we were that close to getting that one back over the net. 4-4 now the score as the Wildcats try to take the lead here in the third set. And Chang serving again. Here's La Rochelle sending it back. And That is a kill for Corinne Westby as she puts it over and lands it in bounds. Sophomore out of Liberty Lake, Washington. Gets the Wildcats back in front, 5-4. Falcons have 9 kills from Aaron Smith and 8 from Hannah Hare. Here's Tolino setting up Hare, and that's going to be another kill for Hare. She's got 9 as the Wildcats unable to block that one out of bounds. Falcons are going to sub in Chambers and Perry and Avery Veenendahl. And that's pretty rare. You see 3 subs come in at the same time. But it'll be Veenendahl to serve. And the officials making sure they have everything there. Veenendahl with the serve and got a piece of the net on the way over. And now the Falcons return it back. And Fisk goes diving for it. Can't come up with it. And the Falcons go back up 6-5 with Avery Veenendahl seeing her first action tonight. Sophomore out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And this one into the net. So Jason Ryan trying to shake things up a little bit. Eva La Rochelle will check back in now for Veenendahl. And so Veenendahl was just in there to serve. And got one over cleanly, and then the last one didn't get over the net. Here is Sydney Perry with the score now 6-6. And a block on Westby. Here's Tolino, and Emily Tolino spikes it back over for the kill. And it's 7-6 SPU. Wilkes back in up front, Hare to the bench. And Emily Tolino, her career high now, 49 assists. She's got 28 right now. This could end up being another 5-setter. We'll see. Here's Sydney Perry sending it over. And Sydney Perry's going to land it in for a kill. And the Falcons go in front 8-6. Tolino with 9 digs as well. And 3 kills. Here's Chang setting it up for Westby, and Westby sends it out. And the Falcon, no, I'm sorry, no, it was deflected by SPU. It is going to be Central's point. It's 8-7. And Dowd Hebert will serve. Tolino sets it up for Wilkes, and she lands it in. She just tapped it over to an open area. And now the Falcons back up by 2, 9-7. Chambers will check out. Emily Tolino to serve. Sends it over. Stiers goes over for the dig. And here's Westby sending it back. Smith sends it over for the kill as Halliday and Stratman tried to block it and were unsuccessful. Tolino serving again with the Falcons leading by 3. And Halliday is blocked by Wilkes up front. And the Falcons go up by 4, 11-7. Mentioned the Wildcats missing Ellie Marble and Lacey Cox, but really Carissa Stratman has only played in 6 sets so far this year, and she's seeing some action tonight as she takes a swing there, and the Falcons block it again. And they go up 12-7. Westby has played in 36 sets this year, and the Wildcats have used her quite a bit tonight as well. as Mario Andaya takes a timeout. Falcons up by 5, 12-7. We'll be right back in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SPU webcast. SPU has scored the last 4 and 6 out of the last 7 here in the third set to take a 5-point lead at 12-7. Emily Tolino on serve. Falcons trying to go up 2-1 in this match. Again, these teams with really a very evenly played, as that one sent over and it's blocked out of bounds. No, I'm sorry, it did land in bounds. The way the Falcons reacted there, it looked like they had the point, but it was the Wildcats' point. It was blocked in bounds, and it is Kate Sidham to serve. It's 12-8. Here's Tolino setting it up for Wilkes. And that one is off the hands of Stiers into the crowd. 13-8. Falcons with the lead, and Zoe Schuckert will serve. But the way that the all-time series has gone, this is the 88th as Schuckert with another ace. That one hit the net on the way over. And it is 14-8 Falcons. This is the 88th all-time meeting between these two teams. The Falcons have won 44. The Wildcats have won 43. That time Schuckert comes up short. And the Wildcats, though, have won 2 more sets all-time than the Falcons have. These two teams had an epic 5-setter here last year, a little earlier on in the season. The Falcons won that match. Here's Aaron Smith. It's blocked, and it's blocked out of bounds. It's 15-9. The Falcons lead it by 6. And Allison Wilkes will serve. Wilkes serving, Hare in up front along with Smith. Here's Ellsworth tapping it over. Falcons keep it alive. La Rochelle sends it back. And now Payne taps it over. Tolino gets to it. And it's going to land on the SPU side. That'll make it 15-10 as Dowd Abear will check in up front and Stiers will serve. (15-10). The Falcons with the lead here in the third set. And that one back over the net, and Payne is there to send it back for the Wildcats. And that makes it 15-11. Stiers will serve it again. Mariana Payne now 11 kills in the match. Tolino sets it up for Hare, and that one, they were a little bit off, but they were able to get it over, and they're able to get the point out of it as well as the Falcons go back up by 5, 16-11. Mario Andaya having a conversation with the official. But it'll be the Falcons' point, and Aaron Smith will serve, and that one's going to go long. So it'll be 16-12 now. Kaylee Shea Chang will check in and serve. And no, okay. She is going to serve. They needed to rotate in and out correctly. And now they do. And so Chang will put it in play. Lopez the dig, and here is Tolino setting it up for Hannah Hare. And Hare with another kill as the Wildcats unable to dig that one cleanly. And again, the Falcons subbing in 3 players here. Chambers and Perry checking in, and Avery Veenendahl will serve. Veenendahl, a sophomore out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. And she's only appeared in 6 sets so far this year. And the Wildcats going to take the point there. And it's 17-13 as Veenendahl will check out. And here's Mariana Payne serving for the Wildcats. Perry will set it up for La Rochelle. And now Dowd Hebert sends it back for Central, and they get back to within 3. 17-14. Payne will serve it again. La Rochelle sends it back, and there's Dowd Hebert waiting for it at the net. And she puts it back over. And the Wildcats have scored the last 3 to get back within 2, 17-15. Payne serves it again. La Rochelle the dig, and the fake set there by Tolino, but she couldn't get it over. And Jason Ryan's going to take a timeout. The Wildcats have scored the last 4. They're down just 1, 17-16. This third set tightening up. This will be a big one here in this match. We'll be right back in just a moment.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
17-16 now. The Wildcats within 1 as Mariana Payne still on serve. Here's Hannah Hare, and she lands it in bounds as she aimed it for that back line and landed it in. And the Falcons take a 2-point lead. Hare will check out. Christina Lopez will serve. Great shot there on the end line, just inbounds from Hannah Hare. Lopez will serve it. And Stratman will send it back over. The Falcons try to keep it alive, and they can't do it. And it is 18-17. The Wildcats again will serve to try to tie up the set. Chambers and Perry still out there. And yeah, we've seen Jason Ryan rotate in Avery Veenendahl a couple of times now just to serve and then check out as Dowd Hebert comes up short. And the Falcons will take it back on the service error. It'll be Tolino to serve with the Falcons up by 2. 19-17. And Tolino. Stiers with a good dig there. And Payne puts it back over. Here's Tolino setting it up for Wilkes. And Allison Wilkes with the spike and the kill. And the Falcons retake a 3-point lead, 20-17. Tolino trying to continue to extend the lead. And she hits the net. And the Wildcats back within 2, 20-18. As Kate Stidham will check in and serve, as Ellsworth will check in up front as well. 20-18, Falcons with the lead here in the third set. Tied at a set apiece. Another close match between these two teams as Tolino goes over the net to try to pull it back and was not successful in doing so. It got called for it. And it's 20-19 now. Tolino this time sets it up well for Sydney Perry. But the Wildcats able to send it back. Tolino sets it up for Wilkes again. Allison Wilkes with the spike and the kill. Right down the middle. And the Falcons lead it by 2, 21-19. Zoe Schuckert checking in to serve. Wilkes now 7 kills. That one lands just out as Stiers thought about it and let it go. And it is 21-20. Shaughnessy Fisk will serve to try to tie up this third set for the Wildcats. Lopez the dig. Here's Tolino for Wilkes again. And Wilkes this time just taps it over and lands it in again. 22-20. Falcons lead it by 2. Hannah Hare checking back in, and Wilkes will serve now. Both of these squads loaded with fifth-year players, and Wilkes with the ace off the hands of Fisk. And the Falcons with a 3-point lead late in the third set, 23-20. Mario Andaya takes a timeout. We will as well. We'll be right back on the SPU webcast. Back inside Royal Brome Pavilion, Greg Sexton with you on the SP webcast. Allison Wilkes has made a big impact here in this third set, especially the last several points, as Wilkes with an ace a moment ago after getting a kill, and she's had a few here in this set. And Mariana Payne puts it over for the Wildcats, and they're back within 2. Lopez will check in for Wilkes. And it'll be Hannah Stiers to serve. Wildcats down 2. Salino sets it up for Aaron Smith. And it's tapped over and out of bounds. Dowd Abear was aiming it for the corner and couldn't land it in. And the Falcons with a set point, 24-21 your score here in the third set. Falcons trying to go up 2-1. Aaron Smith to serve. Steyer's the dig. Set up and blown dead. And they give the point to the Falcons. I think they said that the Wildcats were over the net, I believe, or maybe it was a double touch. At any rate, the Falcons take the point, and they win the third set by a count of 25-21. All three sets have been close tonight, as the Wildcats got the first one 25-21. The Falcons get the second one 25-23. They get the third one 25-21, and they are going for a 4-set win here on their home floor. The Wildcats going to have something to say about that. We will see how things go in set number 4 when we come back to Royal Brown Pavilion in just a moment. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion in Seattle, Falcons take a 2-1 lead. And these two teams have had some great matches over the years. This one no exception, as all three sets have been close. None of the three sets so far have, I should say, the team that has lost all three sets has scored at least 20. 21 in the first set and the third set, 23 in the second set for the team that came out on the short end, which was Central Washington in sets number 2 and 3. Wildcats got the first set by a count of 25-21, and the official is making sure everyone is set correctly, and he has his lineup correct. 12 kills for Mariana Payne, 18 assists, and 4 service aces for Kaylee Shea Chang. And 3 blocks from Scotty Ellsworth. 7 digs apiece from Payne and Steyers for the Wildcats. And for the Falcons, 11 kills apiece from Aaron Smith and Hannah Hare, as Zoe Schuckert serves to begin the fourth set. And this one blown dead. And the Wildcats awarded the point. And Jason Ryan getting an explanation from the official. It's 1-0 Central here to start the fourth set, as Shaughnessy Fisk will serve. As Emily Tolino, 37 aces. She has established new career highs the last 2 matches. Career high now at 49. And she is going to be right around. Is Jason Ryan going to challenge his call here? Didn't get an explanation that he liked from the official. He thinks he can win this challenge, and they are going to review it. So, haven't seen any challenges until right now. First challenge of the night, as it comes on the first point of the fourth set. Any point at any point in any set can be a momentum turner. But Jason Ryan did not agree with the explanation he got from the official there and wants him to take a look at it. Mentioned Emily Tolino, 37 assists. She's got 12 digs, so she's got another double-double. And no blocks for her yet tonight. So she had 4 last Thursday against Western Oregon and then 6 against St. Martin's on Saturday. But Aaron Smith, a couple of blocks. And really the Falcons have not put a ton of blocks on the board here. Wilkes with 2. And Hare with just 1 to this point. So that really has not been the way that the Falcons have been scoring their points tonight. 12 digs, as I mentioned, from Tolino, leading the way in that category. Christina Lopez with 6 digs. Trying to get the digs above the reception errors, as Lopez has been charged with 7 reception errors tonight. They are going to stick with the call and give the Wildcats the first point here of the fourth set. And Fisk will serve as we resume action here. Schuckert and Lopez kind of both going for that one, but Schuckert comes up with it. Here's Ellsworth, and Schuckert puts out a hand and keeps it alive. Now here's Ellsworth again, and La Rochelle unable to block that one. So Scotty Ellsworth with the kill. And it's 2-0 Wildcats here in the fourth set. Shaughnessy Fisk serving again. And that one hits the net. It's a service error, and the Wildcats, the Falcons rather, take it back as they now lead. They trail rather 2-1 here in the fourth set. Wildcats with the lead. And Wilkes serving. Payne is blocked by Hare and Smith. And I mentioned the Falcons not with a ton of blocks tonight, but a good one right there on Mariana Payne. 2-2 the score now here in the fourth set. Again, Hare and Smith teaming up on that one. This one's sent over by Wilkes, and it crawls over the net. Ellsworth blocked, and 2 straight blocks for the Falcons. Hannah Hare right there in the middle of it again. 3-2. Falcons with the lead. And Allison Wilkes serving. Wildcats got the first 2 points of the set, and now the Falcons have scored the last 3. That one got a little bit of the net as well. Ellsworth sends it back. Wilkes for La Rochelle. She taps it over. And now sent back over by Halliday. And Smith has it blocked out of bounds, and it's going to be another kill for Aaron Smith, who now has 12 in the match for SPU, and they have scored 4 in a row here to go up 4-2. Wilkes again. And that one going to go out of bounds. And so the Wildcats will get the side out and take it back. Hannah Stiers to serve. Falcons by a point here in the 4th set, leading 2-1 in the match. Tolino sets it up for Hare, and Stiers a good dig there. Cross-court set for Payne. She gets it over. Falcons keep it alive. Here's Aaron Smith. Fisk will set it up for Payne, and Smith is there again. This time, now it hits the antenna, and that is going to be a point. Let's see here. Okay. The official initially signaled that it was SPU's point, but it is Central's point, and that is the correct call from my vantage point. It's 4-4. And Hannah Stiers will serve. Once she gets a ball there from Trace Evans. Looking forward to basketball season. Trace Evans, one of the leaders on the men's basketball team. As this one is blocked out of bounds. And the Falcons take the point. And they retake the lead 5-4. Aaron Smith will serve. The dig there by Fisk. And Payne sends it right through the hands of Zoe Schuckert. And it's 5-5. Mariana Payne with a little bit of juice on that swing. And it's 5-5 as Kaylee Shea Chang will check in and serve. Freshman setter out of Kirkland, Washington. She has split the setting duties with Kate Sidham in this match. Chang will set it up for Westby. And now Tolino for Aaron Smith, and she comes up short. She hit the net. And the Wildcats take a 6-5 lead. Chang will serve again. And this time it's a service error as it comes up short. And it's 6-6. Chambers and Perry check in, and Eva La Rochelle will serve. This is where we saw Jason Ryan rotate Avery Veenendahl in a couple of times in the 3rd set. She had a couple of service errors. Here's Hannah Hare, and the Wildcats keep it alive. Lopez volleys it back over. And Dowday Bear send it over. Hare got a piece of it. Here's Perry sending it back. Now Payne is blocked. And Tolino got a piece of that one along with Hannah Hare. I said earlier that Tolino didn't have any blocks tonight, but she's got one now. As the Falcons now with a 7-6 lead here in the 4th set. As Tolino comes up with her first block of the night. La Rochelle sends it over. Here's Payne sending it back. La Rochelle a good dig to keep it alive. Here's Perry. She's blocked. La Rochelle dives for that one, and the Falcons can't keep it alive. And it's 7-7. As Stratman checks back in up front for Central. And Mariana Payne to serve. 7-7. La Rochelle the dig. Here's Tolino setting it up for Hare. And Hare was blocked. Perry hits the antenna. And they're going to say it's SPU's point. As I thought that it was right off of Perry, but looked like actually was deflected by the Wildcats off the antenna. And so the Falcons get the point, and Christina Lopez comes up short of the net. And it is 8-8 now. The Wildcats take it back. Emma Dowd-Hebert to serve. This match has been close all night long. First set saw Central lead by 6 a couple of times. And the Falcons, I believe, have led by 6 as well. That time Wilkes was not realizing the ball was coming right back down to her, and realized it a little too late. And the Wildcats take the point. Dowd-Hebert to serve again. Tolino, cross-court set for Perry, and Perry sends it out of bounds. And the Wildcats go up by 2, 10-8. Both teams have had some runs tonight, but I can't really say that either team has been dominant at any point for an extended period of time, as this one's still alive. Here's Tolino setting it up for Wilkes, and Allison Wilkes, another kill on the assist by Emily Tolino. Aaron Smith will check in for Sophia Chambers, and Tolino will serve. Tolino, the GNAC Offensive Player of the Week, and having another good match here tonight. This is going to be Westby sending it over, and La Rochelle can't get to it. And the Wildcats lead it by 2 again, 11-9. Tolino now 40 assists and 15 digs. Now we're in the 4th set of a match that could potentially go the full 5. Here's Tolino setting it up for Aaron Smith. And that's going to be a kill as it goes into the Wildcats bench. And it's 11-10. Schuckert will check in for Perry. And Zoe Schuckert will serve. Schuckert trying to tie the set back up. Stidham with the set for Stratman. Now Tolino sets it up for Smith. And it's blocked, and it lands out of bounds, and it's going to be a point for SPU, as the officials making sure they were on the same page there. They do rule it the Falcons' point. And another kill for Aaron Smith. Here's Schuckert again. Stires the dig. And Stratman will volley it back over. Tolino sets it up for Wilkes. And it's blocked. Stratman was there along with Halliday, teaming up on the block as Shaughnessy Fisk will check in for Stratman. Wildcats a big point there to go back up by a point, 12-11. And Fisk will serve. La Rochelle with the dig. Here's Tolino coming over to get it and set it back up for La Rochelle. Cross-court set for Payne, and Payne puts it in. And gets the deflection. And the kill is 13-11 in favor of Central. Fisk sends it over. A lot of English on some of these serves, including that last one. And there's Halliday, and this one off the speaker, and it's blown dead. The official is saying that it hit the speaker. And I think what they'll do with this is they'll replay this point. So nobody gets a point there. Ball hit the speaker above the net, and that makes it a dead ball. Now another ball comes onto the court. And again, we'll replay the point. So it's still 13-11 Wildcats here. Shaughnessy Fisk serving again. And La Rochelle just gets to that one. Here's Aaron Smith, and she spikes it over for the kill. 13-12. Hannah Hare back in. On the live stats they gave, let's see here. They did give, actually. They gave Central Washington a point. It is 14-12. Payne is blocked, and that's going to be a point for the Falcons, and now they're back within one at 14-13. Good matchup here tonight. Mariana Payne with 14 kills for the Wildcats. Aaron Smith with 15 for the Falcons. Here's Payne, and Schuckert gets a piece of that one. Ellsworth sends it over, and Hare sends it back. And did she land it in? No. It did not land in bounds. It is a point for the Wildcats. And it is 15-13. So Ellsworth with the kill there. Here's Tolino setting it up for Hare. Wildcats keep this one alive. Here's Payne tapping it back over. Tolino for Smith. And it comes back Schuckert there. Here's La Rochelle sending it back over. And now Payne comes up short on this one. And the Falcons back within a point at 15-14. Aaron Smith will serve. Falcons trying to get this one in 4 sets, if they can. This one seems like it's destined for a 5th set. Here's Ellsworth. And Smith keeps that one alive. Payne sends it back. And Mariana Payne for the Wildcats, putting them back up by 2. And she's been all over the place for Central tonight, as Aaron Smith has been for SPU. Here's Chang serving. And the Falcons unable to keep that one alive. Schuckert tried to get to it and kind of pinballed around a couple of times. The Wildcats now back up by 3. 17-14. SPU trying to hang in here in this 4th set. La Rochelle the dig. Tolino sets it up for Hare. And Hannah Hare gets a good swing on that one and drills it over the net. And it is 17-15. Falcons back within 2. Here's Eva La Rochelle to serve. And a block up front on Westby. And I think that was Hare and Tolino. It was Hare and Tolino that got to it. And so Tolino picking up another block. Of course, Hare, we're used to her coming up with all kinds of blocks. One of the elite blockers in the nation. Hare this time is blocked. Perry sends it over. And we get a whistle. And they're going to give the point to the Wildcats there. Called the Falcons for a violation. 18-16. Hannah Hare, 12 kills and now 6 blocks in the match. And Hare on the set from Tolino again, sending it back over. She'll check out. Wilkes will check back in up front, and Lopez will serve. And Lopez trying to tie up this 4th set. It's 18-17, Wildcats with the lead. Wilkes at the net, and she puts it back over. And the Falcons have tied it at 18. Christina Lopez to serve again. 18-18. Here's Lopez, and she puts that one into the net. Wildcats take the lead back, 19-18. Emma Dowd-Abear will serve. Emily Tolino, 45 assists, 15 digs, and 2 blocks now. Lopez going to her knees to come up with that one. Perry got it over, and it was blocked. Now Perry will get another crack at it. There's Payne. Cross court for Stratman, and Carissa Stratman puts it down on the SPU side and puts the Wildcats back in front by 2. Getting late here in the fourth set, 20-18. Central trying to push it to set number 5. As Dowd-Abear sends it over. Here's Tolino for Sydney Perry. And the Wildcats send it back. Morgan Halliday puts it over. And the Wildcats up by 3, 21-18. Jason Ryan takes a timeout. And we will take one as well here on the SPU webcast. Wildcats trying to force a 5th set here from Royal Brown Pavilion. We'll be right back. Back inside Royal Brown Pavilion, 21-18. Central leading in the 4th set, trying to push it to a 5th. Falcons had this set tied up at 18, but the Wildcats have scored the last 3 with Emma Dowd-Abear on serve. Here's Tolino setting it up for Wilkes, and Allison Wilkes, another kill for the Falcons. And she's playing from that middle blocker spot, as is Hannah Hare. Wilkes now with 11 kills. Hare with 13. Aaron Smith with 15. So 3 players in double figures in kills for SPU. And Emily Tolino sending it over. Sent back by Halliday. That one hits the ceiling. And now La Rochelle lands it in for a big kill. And the Falcons within 1. La Rochelle aiming for that corner. And she got it in. 21-20. Falcons now trying to tie up this 4th set again. Here's Stratman. Lopez there for the dig. Here's Tolino setting it up for Aaron Smith. And Aaron Smith with the kill off the hands of Mariana Payne. The Falcons have scored the last 3. It's 21-21. Mario Andaya wants to talk things over. And we will step aside again on the SPU webcast. This 4th set getting good here as the Falcons try to win it in 4. The Wildcats trying to force a 5th set. We'll be right back.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
(21-21) here in the fourth set. The Falcons lead it 2-1. And they're trying to knock off the Central Washington Wildcats here at home to start the second half of GNAC play. Falcons have won 3 out of their last 4. They're finding their groove here after a really slow start to the season. Tolino sets it up for Smith, and Payne saves it. Here's Stratman putting it over. She's blocked. Saves it. Stiers got to it, but too many hits there. The Wildcats unable to return it. And the Falcons take the lead. 22-21. They scored the last 4 after they were down by 3 just a moment ago. Tolino on serve again. Puts it over. Stiers will set it up for Stratman. And Lopez gets enough of it. Perry's able to save it. Tolino gets it back over. And here's Halliday. Tolino gets a piece of it. Here's Perry. Stiers gets to it. Chang sets it up for Stratman, and she lands it in. A big kill there for Carissa Stratman as she aimed at that back line and kept it in. And it's 22 apiece here in the fourth set. Kate Stidham will serve for the Wildcats as they try to go back in front. Stidham comes up short. It hits the net. And the Falcons take the lead back 23-22. And Zoe Schuckert will serve. Falcons could use a couple of big points here with Schuckert serving as they try to close it out in 4. Stiers the dig. Here's Stratman. And Schuckert gets a hand on it. Lopez gets a hand on it. It hits the ceiling. La Rochelle sends it back over. Here's Wilkes. Allison Wilkes puts it over. What a play there by the Falcons to keep it alive. And then Wilkes is there to put it back over the net. And the Falcons with a match point. Mario Andaya takes another timeout. It's 24-22. SPU trying to close it out in 4 sets. We'll be right back in just a moment on the SPU webcast. Here we go, match point for the Falcons, leading 24-22 here in the 4th set. They lead it 2-1, and Zoe Schuckert on serve. And she puts it over. Mariana Payne with the dig. There is Stidham setting it up for Stratman, and Lopez can't get to it. And Carissa Stratman gets the Wildcats back within a point. Here's Shaughnessy Fisk checking in to serve for Central as she tries to tie up the set at 24 apiece. This has been a classic match here tonight as Fisk puts it over. Tolino sets it up for Aaron Smith. Wildcats keep it alive. Ellsworth volleys it back over. Tolino for Aaron Smith again. It's blocked out of bounds. And Aaron Smith puts over the final kill. And the Wildcats go down to the Falcons here at Royal Brown Pavilion in 4 sets. Aaron Smith, the final kill, and the Falcons win the fourth set 25-23. Wildcats got the first one 25-21, and the Falcons respond by taking the next three 25-23, 25-21, 25-23. And the Falcons were down 21-18 here in the fourth set. They score 7 out of the last 9 to get this one done on their home floor. A monumental win, really, for the Falcons. This is their biggest win on their home floor. They did have a 5-set win at Western Washington. That was a big one as well. But a huge win here over Central Washington. The Falcons get it done in 4 sets, and what a match it was, as this one just went back and forth some more. Let's look at some of the final stats here. Falcons hit 296 for the match, and that is something where they were really struggling with their hitting percentage early on in the season. And that has, they've really kind of gotten that under control. They hit 296 tonight, 221 for Central. And Central ends up with 10 aces. The Falcons with 7. Falcons with 12 service errors, and Central with just 7 of those. But the Falcons end up with 9 total blocks to 6 for the Wildcats, as individually Mariana Payne leads the Wildcats with 15 kills. Carissa Stratman ended up with 10, and Corinne Westby with 9. They're missing Ellie Marble, as I mentioned, tonight. 22 assists and 5 aces from Kaylee Shea Chang, as Kate Stidham chipped in 16 assists as well. And 4 blocks for Emma Dowd-Abear, 3 assists and just 3 blocks for Dowd-Abear. She had a block error. I was looking at the wrong column on the stat sheet here. So Dowd-Abear finishes with 3 block assists. So does Ellsworth, and so does Halliday. 13 digs for Stiers. 11 for Payne, who finishes with a double-double, 15 kills, 11 digs, and 10 digs for Shaughnessy Fisk for the Wildcats. For the Falcons, 17 kills from Aaron Smith, including the final one, and 13 from Hannah Hare, 12 from Allison Wilkes. Sydney Perry chips in 9 kills as well. 49 assists. Emily Tolino matches her career high that she set on Saturday. And Saturday was a 4-set match. This one a 4-setter as well. So next time Tolino plays in a 5-setter, we'll see if she's able to break that career high and hit that 50 mark. But Tolino, another very solid match tonight with 49 assists and 17 digs. And I'm not sure what her career high in digs is, but that's got to be close, as she leads the Falcons in digs with 17. Hannah Hare with 6 blocks, and Aaron Smith with 5. As the Falcons get 17 digs, as I mentioned, from Tolino. They get 11 from Schuckert, 10 from Lopez, and 10 from La Rochelle. And La Rochelle chips in 6 kills as well. Falcons with a complete team effort, and they win it here against Central Washington on their home floor in 4 sets. Again, the final count: 21-25, 25-23, 25-21, 25-23. And the Wildcats, the Falcons rather, go to 3-0 on this homestand. They will have another match coming up here on Saturday against Northwest Nazarene. That'll be a 2 p.m. first serve, as Central Washington now drops to 8-2 in GNAC play. The Falcons go to 5-5. They're climbing up the standings a little bit here, and if they can keep it going here, they definitely can finish over 500 in GNAC play. at the very least. Trying to don't know that they have a shot at winning the GNAC at this point with 5 losses. Central Washington takes their second loss tonight. Simon Fraser with just the 1 loss. So a lot of things would have to break right for the Falcons to have any chance at running the table and sneaking the GNAC title out. But that's not likely to happen, but they could end up with a pretty solid record in the conference after an 0-8 start in non-conference play. Falcons will have, as I mentioned, Northwest Nazarene here on Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. first serve. Central Washington will continue their road trip. They will head to Montana State Billings for a match on Saturday afternoon. And they should be able to get things turned around as Billings yet to win a match in the GNAC. They're 0-9. Not sure how they did tonight, but this one, a classic match again. Both teams going at it. Both teams playing well. The Falcons end up on the winning side in 4 sets. We are going to call it a night here from Royal Broham Pavilion. We will see you on Saturday. Northwest Nazarene will be in the building for a 2 p.m. first serve, and we will talk to you then. Have a good night.